Outlander Season 7. Episode 16 is shaping up to be a game changer. With the stakes higher than ever, Jamie's leadership is put to the test in ways we've never seen before, while Claire steps into a role that will challenge her in unimaginable ways. As the Revolutionary War reaches its boiling point, secrets are uncovered, relationships are tested, and the future of the Fraser family hangs in the balance. What will happen when Jamie and Claire face their greatest challenges yet? Let's dive into what promises to be an unforgettable episode. As episode 16 unfolds, Jamie Fraser is faced with an insurmountable weight on his shoulders. His role as a general in the Revolutionary Army is more than just a military position. It's a test of his values, his loyalty, and his ability to lead when everything seems to be falling apart. Jamie has always been a man of principle, but the war is forcing him into difficult choices, ones that might put him at odds with everything he believes in. In the midst of an escalating conflict, he must decide who to trust and how far he's willing to go for the cause of American independence. Every decision Jamie makes could mean the difference between life and death, not just for himself, but for those he holds dear. As Jamie grapples with his internal struggle, we see him in moments of vulnerability, something that has always been a rare sight. He's burdened not only by the responsibility of war, but by the impact his leadership has on those closest to him. The pressure is immense, and it's clear that Jamie's actions in this episode will set the stage for the future of the Fraser family, and possibly the entire revolution. With his personal convictions constantly at odds with the brutal reality of war, Jamie must find a way to maintain his humanity while pushing forward in the fight for freedom. But as the lines blur between right and wrong, we're left wondering just how much of himself Jamie is willing to sacrifice for victory. This season has already shown Jamie in increasingly complex situations, but episode 16 takes things to another level. The decisions he faces here could change the trajectory of the Revolutionary War and his own legacy. As a general, Jamie is not only responsible for his men, but also for the lives of those he loves, including Claire and their children. In a season full of emotional turmoil and intense action, this episode will be one that leaves fans questioning what Jamie's future holds in this war and whether he can hold onto the values that have always defined him. The fate of the Fraser family might just hinge on the choices Jamie makes in these final moments of the season. While Jamie fights on the front lines, Claire Fraser finds herself in a completely different kind of battle, one that tests her intellect, resourcefulness, and courage. In episode 16, Claire steps into a position where the fate of many lies in her hands. This isn't just about tending to wounded soldiers or offering medical expertise. This is Claire navigating the treacherous waters of war and politics, all while balancing the delicate dynamics of her relationship with Jamie. The complexities of the revolutionary landscape are becoming clearer, and Claire's ability to navigate them could mean the difference between life and death, not just for her, but for those around her. What makes this episode stand out is the way Claire makes use of her sharp mind and unwavering willpower to forge her personal route in a time wherein girls are frequently sidelined. Throughout the collection, Claire has proven to be a pressure of nature, and episode 16 offers her even more of a chance to polish. She's now not simply the supportive spouse or the healer, she's a key player in the survival of the Fraser-owned family and the achievement of the reason they've all fought for. As tensions upward push and the warfare escalates, Claire must make decisions that challenge her beliefs and push her beyond her comfort quarter. But it's now not just her medical talents that come into play on this episode. Claire's have an impact on, as a voice of motive in a world filled with chaos cannot be underestimated. She is confronted with moral and ethical dilemmas on the way to shape the route of the season. As she takes on new duties, her moves may have ripple consequences. Now not just in her immediately circle, but during the bigger scope of the struggle. One key second on this episode indicates Claire taking ambitious, on occasion controversial moves, which can have profound outcomes for her circle of relatives and the destiny of the revolution. We can't forget the specific challenges Claire faces because of her expertise of the destiny. Having come from a time wherein history is already written, she's constantly aware about the capability outcomes of her alternatives. In episode 16, this information turns into a double-edged sword as she walks the line between shaping the future and letting activities spread as they have to. Every flow Claire makes is steeped in a deep awareness of history and the sensitive stability among fate and loose will. Her capability to make decisions based totally on this expertise might be examined in ways that could have irreversible effects on both her own family and the world around her. As the struggle intensifies, the dynamic between Jamie and Claire is driven to new limits, with each of them facing challenges in an effort to pressure them to impeach everything they thought they knew approximately themselves and their courting. Claire's ambitious decisions will no longer most effective affect her, however, may also change the direction of the revolution itself. In the next phase, we'll dive into how the emotional stakes of the season are raised even better with the return of familiar faces and unexpected twists. As we method the final stretch of Outlander Season 7, Episode 16 serves as a turning point for each of the characters and the story itself. The stakes are better than ever, and just while we suppose we've a deal with on what's coming next, the show throws us a curveball. An important spotlight of this episode is the long-awaited go-back of Lord John Grey, a liked man or woman whose presence usually provides a layer of emotional intensity and suspense to the narrative. Tasked with the undertaking that appears each dangerous and pressing, Lord John's storyline will leave fans on the threshold in their seats. His personal motivations, struggles, and the dangers he is taking will upload even greater anxiety to an already high-stakes state of affairs, leaving us wondering what the closing fee of his loyalty might be. While Lord John's return is sure to be a first-rate talking factor, Episode 16 also brings a brand new set of challenges for William Ransom. As the son of Jamie and the product of the extraordinary international, William has continually been a person stuck among two realities. In this episode, he embarks on an adventure of self-discovery. However, his personal increase is complex by way of the dangerous instances surrounding him. His dating with Jane turns into a short moment of peace amidst the chaos, presenting a glimpse right into a softer, extra vulnerable side of him. But just as William starts off evolved to embrace this new emotional territory, he's thrust into a deadly scenario in an effort to put each his life and his destiny at hazard. With the warfare escalating and his challenge more dangerous than ever, William's destiny is hanging by means of a thread, and we're left questioning how this storyline will spread in the coming episodes. Meanwhile, Brianna's arc keeps to conform as she faces a crossroad in the 80s timeline. The emotional weight of her choices is palpable, and her struggle to shield her own family within the face of mounting hazard drives a good deal of the emotional tension on this episode. Brianna is pressured to confront her innermost fears as she contemplates whether to tour again to the beyond to discover Roger and Buck. The emotional turmoil that includes this choice is gigantic, as Brianna ought to weigh the consequences of meddling with time in opposition to the preference to reunite her circle of relatives. This storyline is a stunning reflection of the constant tension among the past, gift, and future, a theme that Outlander has continually explored so nicely. As the episode reaches its climax, visitors may be left thinking what the future holds for the Fraser family. With Jamie and Claire each going through inconceivable pressures, and with the stakes of the Revolutionary War mounting, the emotional and bodily toll on the characters is simple. Episode 16 serves as an ideal bridge between the conflicts of the existing and the effects of the beyond, putting the level for the final chapters of this season. The twists and turns in this episode promise to deliver unforgettable moments with a view to keep enthusiasts on the brink in their seats. With every person grappling with their personal demons and the weight of records on their shoulders, the destiny of Outlander is more uncertain and exciting than ever earlier than. The conclusion of this season is shaping up to be an emotional roller coaster with jaw-dropping revelations, heart-wrenching goodbyes, and stunning moments of bravery. Outlander Season 7. Episode 16 is a pivotal moment that will define the future of the series and leave fans eagerly anticipating what comes next. Share your thoughts in the comments section and subscribe our channel. Thanks!